What's up YouTube? In this video we're going to build a car rental website. You could actually use this kind of build for scooters, motorbikes, boats, kayaks, whatever it is you want to rent, you can use this same build. For our supercar rental website, I've set it up so that we get this search function at the front. So if someone wants to rent a car, for instance, they just come on here, select the pickup date, the drop-off date, then they click search. Then they'll be presented with a list of vehicles that are available. I've got supercar 1, 2 and 3. If I select supercar 1, as you'd expect, you get a few more details about the vehicle and then you can proceed to book it. So it tells you your pickup, your drop off and all of the standard kind of features for a rental website. Let's get started and get this done within 30 minutes. Okay. There's a few steps to building this site today and we're going to do it all in less than 30 minutes. First, we're going to get our hosting set up. Then we're going to install WordPress and the theme. Then we'll install the plugin that converts our website into a rental website, and then we'll do the setup and the configuration. So step one, let's get the hosting. I'm using SiteGround. The reason is really good performance at a really competitive price. I'm on this plan here. If you don't have hosting, it's worth checking it out. I will put a link in the description. If you're with SiteGround and you're ready to get started with your new account, just head over to the top menu and click on websites and then hit new website. For today, I'm going to be using a temporary domain, but if you have an existing domain, you can connect it up here, or you can actually purchase a domain through SiteGround. So for now, let's just hit temporary domain. Now we're going to be doing a start a new website, so we'll hit select here and it's going to be WordPress, so we'll hit select. Now I'm just going to enter in a few details here and we'll jump to the next step. Alright, so once you've entered in your email and your password, hit continue, you will get to this screen here. Now it's asking whether you want to add this site scanner add-on. Don't worry about it, so we'll just go finish. This might take a minute or two and then we will have our WordPress install completed. Okay, so on our temporary domain, we do have WordPress installed. The next thing we want to do is just click on this Site Tools. Once we get to Site Tools, you just want to go down to SSL Manager and we want to select Let's Encrypt and hit Get. Okay, so our SSL certificate is now installed and our site will be encrypted. Next, we want to enforce it. So we just click on here to HTTPS enforce and we'll just toggle this across to on and we have success there. Next we want to go down to speed, we'll go to caching and we'll go to this memcached and we're just going to turn this on to help improve the performance of our site. That's all we need to do here in SiteGround. We basically don't have to come back here again. That is all done. We'll go back to our account and if we click on websites, you'll see the list of all the websites you have within SiteGround, and I'm just going to click on the one we created here and we can go and have a look at the admin panel for WordPress. So when you do that, you're going to get to this screen. Basically, you just want to go straight down the bottom, hit exit. And now we're in our WordPress admin. If we want to take a quick look at our site, what it looks like at the moment, we just go up to the top here and we'll just click visit site. And I'm just going to do this in a new tab. And there you go. This is our basic WordPress site running on our SiteGround hosting. It's looking pretty ordinary, but we're going to fix that. Next, let's go and update some of the general settings and then we're going to install our theme. Okay, so we're just back on the WordPress admin dashboard here and we've just gone down to settings to general and you just want to check that the date and time formats are the way you want to see them. So I'm just going to leave them as the default here, but this is where you can just update them so that they flow through the site just the way you'd expect them to present. So I'll hit save changes on that and then we'll go to the permalinks, which is down just a little bit further, and you just want to make sure that this is set to post name because this is going to help with the SEO of the site. So now we're going to install our WordPress theme. To do this, we just head over to the left and we'll hit appearance and then we'll go to themes and then you just want to press add new. Today we're going to be installing the Astra theme, so we'll just type in Astra and this is the one we want here, so we'll just hit install and this is totally free. Once that's done, and it shouldn't take very long at all, we'll just hit activate. Now with that activated, you just want to head back over to the menus on the left and hit Astra options. Then you want to come over here and hit install importer plugin and you'll see that that's sort of indicating it's activating. Okay, so with that done, you should be able to click this one here that says see library. If you do get an error, just refresh the page and it'll bring you back here. So we'll hit see library and then we'll go to build our website, and we're going to select Elementor. So once we get to this page here, we can upload a logo. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. We'll do that later. We're going to hit skip and continue. Here we can change some colors around. I'm actually going to go with this one here. For everything else, I think it's okay, except I might just select this font. But these are really just, subjective things. Whatever you want to do, just make those changes to your colors and to your font. You can change them all later. If you want, you can just continue on. So let's do that. You don't have to fill in any of this. We'll just hit submit and build my website. And this could take a minute or two. Okay, that's done. Now we can hit visit your website. All right, so we've installed WordPress on our hosting provider. We've got our theme in, and now we've installed a starter site, which is, in this case, it's a limousine renting site, and we're going to convert that over into our supercar rental site. So the first thing we want to do with our starter site here is get the images and some of the words to look more like our supercar rental site. And to do that, we're just going to go here where it says edit with Elementor. Now, if you haven't used Elementor before, it's pretty easy. It's sort of drag and drop type style. If we wanted to update our background image here, it's pretty easy. We just click on these 6 dots up here, and you'll see there's sort of 3 sections to Elementor here. You got the layout, the style, and the advanced. So this image will be under the style, and you can see here it is here. So we're just going to change that, and I'm going to go with this image here, and there we go. That's fixed up the background. Now, next, we just want to adjust this text. So I'm actually going to remove it. So I've just replaced that text with London Supercar Rental, and down here we might want to change this from our fleet to our cars, and you can see over here you can just change the text, so we'll just put cars. It's important that every time you make a change within this Elementor editor that you hit update, and you'll find that down in the bottom left. It's usually a green button. So we're just going to scroll down a little bit and update this next section. The background color, if we wanted to change that again, we just go to the 6 dots of the main section, go to style. Then we should be able to see the color. So we've got background type and color. You can see that's this one here. If we wanted just to sort of gray it off a little bit, we might go with something like that. That's okay. Now these cars, if we wanted to change these out, pretty simple. We just click on them here and you can see it's there. It says choose an image. So I'm just going to pick one of these ones here. I'm going to do the same for all of them. I'm just going to pick the same image just to keep things simple. You can see they're sort of all joined up, so we might need to sort of change some of the spacing there. So if we just say click back on one here and we go to advanced, you can see it's got a bit of, it needs a bit of padding around it. And to do that, we will just say put that to 10, and we'll do the same on this one here, advanced, and then the padding will go to 10. Okay, that's neatened up this section. If we wanted to update our pricing, it's all pretty straightforward. You just click on the little pencil icon there and you can see the text is ready to update. So we might put this from $1,100 per hour. I think that sounds a little bit expensive, but we will fix that other text to be per day. So I'll click in here, make this per day, and I'll do the same on these other 2. You can see you can easily just go through and start customizing this homepage to meet your requirements, and it's pretty straightforward using Elementor. If we go down to the next section here, we could easily update this image here. I've got a vertical one here that should work somewhere, so this one here. Okay, so this one here maybe. All right, so we can hit update on this, and that will publish it live, and we can go across and have a look at our live site now. So this is our site with the updates we've just done. You can see that they've come through looking pretty good, as you might expect. Next, we want to take a look at our header and our footer. So we want to update the logo. Maybe we want to make some changes here, and then have a look at the footer and make some changes. The way to do that is we just head to customize. The theme really controls the header and the footer. So by hitting customize there, we can come into this section and I can click on header builder, and we can go to site title and logo. Now normally you would just select a logo and it would update, but you'll find in this particular theme it doesn't work unless you come into this customize transparent header. And once we're in here, you can see this is the logo that's currently showing, so we're going to change that out. And I do have another one here we're going to select, and that's rendered there okay, but it does look a bit big. So what we can do is just come down to the bottom here and just adjust this logo width, and maybe we'll go with something like that, and we'll update this one as well. Once you've made those changes, don't forget to hit publish, and we can just click the publish button up in the top left. Okay, we'll close that one down. Now we'll take a look at the footer. So if we click on the footer here, we can see we've got all these different elements that make up our footer. For instance, if we want to update the copyright that we're seeing, if we go to our site, we would see that it's got this copyright by WordPress. So you can just jump over into here, alter it as you see fit. For now, we're just going to leave it as it is, but this is where you update it. Next, we've got these HTML elements, and you can see that this has got rent a limousine. So we don't want that. We want a supercar. And we'll click on publish, and then we'll click on our other element as well. And it's got the phone number. Maybe we want to change this, whatever, publish. You can also remove these elements and you can add new elements in. We can have a look at the widgets. This has got the business contact information. So we might update this one, just something like that. Hit publish, and we'll have a look at this other widget. And you can see this is listing out the services. So obviously you can just delete these out or update them, whatever works for you. For now, we're just going to go back and close that down. Just going to do a quick refresh, and you can see we've got our logo. And if I go down to the bottom here now, you can see we've changed our contact information to be in London. We altered the phone number, that type of thing. So I think you get the picture. Next, we're just going to make some changes to our menu here. To do that, we go back to WordPress, go to the dashboard, we go to appearance, and we click on menus. Up here where it says select a menu to edit, we want to edit the primary menu, and then it's important you hit select, otherwise nothing actually happens. Now we have our menus. Basically, if we want to add one or remove one, this is where we do it. I'm going to update this. Instead of having our fleet, we want our supercars. So I just click down here and put supercars here. If we wanted to remove one of the menu items, we could do that as well. We just hit remove, and there we go. So this is where you can update your menus for your header and also for your footer. So with that updated, we'll go back to the site and we'll just take a quick look, and you can see we've got our supercars now. That's looking pretty good. So the next step, we want to install a plugin that's going to convert our website into a car rental website, or as mentioned earlier, you could make this website into a rental site for anything: boats, jet skis, scooters, kayaks, it doesn't matter. All right, let's install the plugin. Okay, the first thing we want to do is head back over to our WordPress admin dashboard. From our dashboard here, we just want to head down the left-hand side until we get to plugins, and then we're just going to go to add new. Once we get here, we just want to search for Vic, V-I-K, and here you will find Vic Rent Car Rental Management System, and this is the one we want. So let's hit install. This is totally free. There is a pro version, but we're just going to use the free one. Okay, that's installed. Now we just want to activate it. All right, that was pretty painless, all done. So now over on the left-hand side, now main menu section here, you can see Vic Rent Car. The next step is to select some sample data, and I highly recommend you do this because it's going to give you a good idea of what needs to go in all of the sort of field and configuration-y setup of this plugin. So we'll just go to select sample data and install sample data. So if you click on this one here, you can see you can do camper vans and trailers, car rentals, scooters, motorbikes, and that type of thing. I'll just stick with cars. Alrighty, so we've installed our sample data. You can see across the top here with this plugin, it gives you a whole bunch of menu items. So we've got rental, we've got cars, pricing, orders, management, advanced, and global settings. So we're going to work our way through all of these, but first we're just going to make a quick change to our website with a new form that's going to really convert it into a rental site. So once we get here, we just want to go to edit with Elementor. What we want to do is scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see this WordPress menu here, and scroll down to the bottom of it, and you'll see this form called Vic Rent Car Search Form. And what we want to do is drag this over on to our header image. Okay, so once we've got that form on the page, we obviously need to make a few changes so it looks a little bit more appropriate for our home page. First thing we're going to do is turn off the pick up and drop off locations, and you can just see this over here on the left, so we'll go no. The reason for that is for this site, for a supercar rental, we're just going to be renting, say, from London Airport. There's one pickup, there's one drop off. If you've got multiple pickups and drop off, you can leave that selection on. The next thing we're going to do is change the orientation from vertical to horizontal, and now it's starting to look a bit more like it. So we're just going to hit update to this and apply those changes. You can see that our text here is a little bit light for our form, so let's change that text color to white so it stands out a little bit better. We'll just hit update on that. Okay, let's exit and we'll go back to the plugin settings. Okay, so we're back on our WordPress main dashboard here, and I've just gone down to Vic Rent Car, the plugin. First thing we're going to do is take a look at this one here, rental. So we're going to tax rates, and you can see currently there is no tax rate. So we want to add one. So we'll go up here and hit new tax rate. For where we are in Australia, it's 10%. So we'll just make that, call it GST, and it'll be 10%. So we'll hit save on that one. Next, we can have a look at the pickup and drop off locations. So for this build, I'm actually going to remove Paris and this airport here, because I'm just going to pick up and drop off from London Airport. So I'm going to click this one and hit delete. Now, likewise, if you want to add a location, you could do that as well. And to do that, you just hit add a location, fill in the details, and you are good to go. Equally, you can edit an existing location. So back on our rental menu again, we've looked at tax rates and pick up and drop off. So types of price, basically there is two already in here as part of our sample data. We're not actually going to change them. Basically what these mean is, depending on where you are in the world, rental cost non-refundable and full damage cost refundable. Basically this is going to be a cheaper rate and this is going to be more expensive. A bit like airfares, where for a non-refundable fare it's going to be lower. For a fully refundable, everything included, it's going to be a bit more expensive. So these ones are fine. You can just click on one and go to edit if you wanted to update this. But for now, we'll leave it as it is. The next menu we're going to take a look at here is the cars one. So we can have a look at categories. Now here we've got city car and city chic. Now I am going to change these because this doesn't really line up with our supercar rental site. So I'll just edit this. We'll call this supercar class 1, save. And in this one, it's going to be supercar class 2, save. All right, so we've updated our categories. Next, we're just going to go in and have a look at our car options. Now, some of these are restricted to the Pro version, but we'll take a look and see if we can do anything on this one. And as you can see here, this is a Pro version only. We'll go to characteristics. Okay, these are the kind of things that are included with your car. Your air conditioning, an extra passenger, and how much luggage. So with a supercar, you're not going to get 3 pieces of luggage. So we're going to delete this one out. It just allows you to modify the characteristics that come with the car. And actually when you're booking it, these icons will show up. So just a bit like a hotel where you can see that it includes a coffee machine or breakfast and all those kind of things. These icons visually allow someone looking to rent the car instantly to sort of know what is included. So go in there and update these appropriate for your site. The car list is the next section we want to take a look at. Now there's 3 vehicles here. We're actually going to update these ones. So I'm going to call this one supercar 1, 2 and 3. So let's do that. Call this supercar 1, and I'm going to update the image as well. Okay, so I've just updated the image there, and you can see under category, you can select a category or you can leave it as the default here. And also the same with pickup locations. You can add pickup locations. We've only got the one, so that makes sense. Drop off locations, it's the same. And the characteristics, you can toggle these on and off, or you can go back and add additional characteristics if there's something else that this vehicle needs. Over on the right hand side, you've got the short description, and also you've got the full description. These other parameters, you can just work through these and toggle them on and off as required. We're just going to save on this, and I'm going to update the other 2 vehicles here, and then we'll go and take a look at what they look like when you do a search result on the website. Okay, so I've updated my supercars here, and you can see with supercar 1, we have 3 characteristics, and there are 3 of these available. Supercar 2, we've got a couple of characteristics, and we've got 5 of these vehicles. And supercar 3, which is part of supercar class 1, we have 2 of these. So if we do a search, we should get these results. So just going back over to the site, just going to do a quick refresh on this. And now we can say, select a pickup time. We'll go for the 18th. We'll drop off on the 25th, and we'll go for any. So we should get the cars in both categories. So hit search here, and here we go. So we can see supercar 2, 1 and 3. They're the different vehicles, and here are our rates. This one's looking a bit expensive. I'll have to fix that, but hey, this is just a demo. I think you get the point. So that appears to be working okay. If we just click home, we can go back to the main page. If you run a search here and you find you're not getting any results, there is one thing you may want to check first, and I probably should have mentioned this earlier. If you click on Edit with Elementor, on this form, if you click on this form and you have a look down here on the left, it says Page. You want this to be Search Your Car with Vic Rent Car. If that is not set to this, it actually won't bring back the results. So important setting. Okay, we'll just jump back over into our admin panel. Now, a couple more things just to finish off in here before we go to the next step, which is pricing. If we click on Supercar 1, you can see here it's got this total units 3 and it's got manage distinctive features. So let's just click in here. Now, a typical distinctive feature of a vehicle is going to be its license plate. So if I just remove, say, the mileage and the fuel at the moment, you might want to have these, but hey, if they're supercars and the price you're renting them at, it's probably just the rego you want to keep track of for now. So these 3 vehicles, which is the total units available of this type of car, there's 3 of them, and then you've got individual registration plates. The other thing you can do, which is really cool, is you can click on damages and status. So if we just click on this here, if the vehicle is returned with a scratch or a minor mark, whatever it is, so here we could just put damaged, whatever it happens to be, and you can keep doing this. So you can put here that there's a, where item 2 is, there's a scratch, etc. So if I close this down and I go back here, there is the damage report and status of this vehicle. But if I go to vehicle number 2, as you'd expect, there's nothing on it. Whether you're renting cars, boats, whatever, you can actually identify the exact vehicle and also any damage or status or notes you want to add about that vehicle. Let's move on to the pricing section. We're back on the main dashboard here. To take a look at the pricing, we just go to the pricing menu here and we'll go to fares table. Now you can see here it's defaulted to Supercar 1 and it says insert the fares. So we've got Supercar 1. If I select this, I can switch between them. So for Supercar 1, if I wanted to change the fares that are showing here by default, I just go to the wizard and I could update them. Now you will see you've got euros here. Let's not worry about that because we're going to change the currency later. If I want to update them and make it a bit cheaper, I could say 80 for the cheaper one and 100, and then we just click insert the fares. And now you'll see here on the right that these daily rates have been added and it's completed in up to 30 days. Now I can do the same with the other ones. So Supercar 2, hit open wizard. I could make this one quite expensive, say 180 and 200, and there we go. So pretty straightforward. The next item we want to take a look at is the fares overview. Now here basically it's just a different way of seeing the fares per vehicle. If you have a large fleet, it's quite handy. You can list out all the vehicles here. You can remove them. So we're just showing the one. If you want to add the others in, you just select them, do a refresh, and you can see an overview of the vehicle and their rates by the different rate type. That's pretty much that on the pricing. So let's talk about orders. I've just gone onto our site and I've done a quick order for Supercar 1 from next week or something like that. Now if I go back to the admin panel and I just look under pricing and fares overview, which was the table we were just on, you can see now it's updated and it's showing that up until this date here there is 3 of these vehicles available, and then of course because I've rented one we're down to 2. So you can see the availability and manage your assets through this dashboard as well. Just good to know. Now if I go actually over to the orders tab and look at the orders list, you can see the order here and it's confirmed. The way this has been set up, the person that's rented it, they're going to pay for this when they arrive. On the Pro version you actually can accept payments on the website. So with the order we've got here, we can take a look at it. If I just check here and then click on view order, obviously this is dummy information, but you can update a few of the items in here. So the system will automatically allocate a vehicle. It's allocated this one, but we could change this to be one of the others if we needed to for whatever reason. The other thing we can do is we can resend out the email for the confirmation, and we can also click this button here and it'll show us what the order looked like for the user that did the booking. So if we just click on that one, you can see the confirmed order, and this has got Vic Rent Car. We're going to update that in the global settings, so don't be too concerned about that one. And then there's just the basic information that the person renting has received. So let's just jump back out of this one, go back to our dashboard. Now, if we click on orders again, there are a couple of other views we can take a look at. We can click on calendar here, and it's showing that the current booking we've got here is this vehicle here over these dates. So it just gives you another way to see what vehicles are booked where. And if I click on Supercar 2, there won't be any bookings at all. Within here, you actually can take a reservation as well. So you could take a reservation over the phone and assign it to a customer, and then save that reservation, and then go and send it out to them. So it gives you that flexibility to take online and offline booking. Next, we'll have a look at this one here, the overview. It's just another dashboard to see the vehicles and where they're rented, and it gives you a few filters and helps manage your rental business. Finally, on this menu, we've got the dashboard, and this is the main dashboard. You either get it through here, or if you click on Vic Rent Car plugin, it takes you here as well. So next, we're going to have a look at the global settings. To look at the global settings, we just go to global, we'll go to configuration. Under the global configuration menu, there is a bunch of submenus. You've got shop and rentals, prices and payments, views and layout, orders and company, and conditional text. I'm not going to go through all of these in detail, but we'll take a quick look at shop and rentals. There is a fairly extensive list of parameters you can update in here, and some of them you need to do and others are not so important. But for instance, do you want to enable the bookings? Yes, of course. If you do want to turn it off, you're going on holidays, you're shutting down temporarily, you can turn that off and add a message here, and this is what people will see when they go to the search form. This next one here, admin email. This is the email address that will receive the rental bookings when they come in. And there is endless really options to configure this site just the way you want it. And if you come across a setting here and you're not quite sure what it means, you can go to the Vic Rent Car official documentation, and I'll put a link in the description to this, and it can tell you exactly what that field or parameter means. For instance, we just looked at the admin one, the email of the administrator that will receive the rental order. So it's really helpful. If we take a quick look up on the right, you can see minimum days of rental. So for this one, if you wanted to put a minimum of 5 days rental on your vehicles, you could set that here. Days in advance for bookings, maybe you need at least a week's notice for bookings, so you could set that to 7. Maximum date into the future, you can set how far ahead bookings can be made and that type of thing. So it's just worth working through these and configuring it just for your site and your business. Next, we'll take a look at the prices and payments. So the currency name's euro, we want dollars here, and the symbol, of course, is going to be dollars, and we'll put in USD. It could be pounds, could be euros, could be whatever you want, but that is how you update it there. You've got the number of decimals, all of that is pretty straightforward. Next, we can have a look at the views and the layouts. So first day of the week, Sunday, you may want to have that Monday. There is quite a few things you can work through in here. I'm not going to go through these templates in this video. If I did, this video would go for quite a bit longer, but keep in mind when someone does book one of your vehicles or whatever it is you're renting, they will probably need to sign some sort of agreement. You can set that up so it emails out these kind of documents at the time of the booking, or you can get them to sign when you hand over the keys, at your booking office where your rentals are held. Next, we have orders and company and conditional text. I'm not going to go over them in detail. Most of them are pretty straightforward, and if there is an area where you need to get some more information, you can grab it from the official documentation. So this is pretty much how you build a car rental website, or a website that you can rent any kind of asset. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments. If you like the video, appreciate it if you give it a like, and I will see you in the next video.